Cheers. Welcome. Michigan Bros Grow Show.
Cheers,
Oh,
guys.
Red already showing off some nice hash.
Yeah.
Little
What is
hash.
that, Red?
This is a little blend hash cone. Red Center Farm there. Little let's see here. There's like it's finger hash, man. Let's see, lemon dozy dough, flow, Death Star, Rainbow Driver. So I think it's all four of those. I was breaking down some buds from our outdoor from this past summer, so 2022 outdoor season. All of those strains were filled with seed, and we were breaking down some of the seeds, putting them into little seed packs to take to the Fledge today. Shout out Third Eye Craft. Shout out Third Eye Muse. Shout out Third Eye Craft Affair. Shout out the Fledge and all that. We were hanging out at the Fledge today, and so we brought some of those crosses that we bred out in our outdoor garden this past summer, 2022. That organic stock that we had, and brought some of the seeds with us. And lo and behold, our gloves had just okay. First off, forget about the gloves. The fragrance coming off of this bud, dude. I don't know if it's sun grown. I don't know if it's the no-till organic, maybe both. All I know is we have a jar of strawberries and cream from our indoor from October down here, and it smells great. It's like cured excellent, but nothing compared to the outdoor cured in a Ziploc bag. Oh my God, this stuff still smells like straight, even more strawberries than it like when it's just smells so good.
Nice.
How long has it been in a Ziploc?
So funky. It's been in Ziplocs. Like we dried it super dry in the garage. Most of October, it hung for I don't know, a good couple weeks, 3 weeks, and then we put them in Ziploc bags way back then, and they've been sitting in Ziploc bags in a tote, kind of pressed up, and we just kind of broke a chunk off and started going to town on it, and it smells so good. The fragrance was coming off, lighting up the air with the terpenes, and most importantly, just on that hash. So this is going to be some good sun-grown organic hash. Like it is super resinous. It sat in a little plastic container all day and it didn't dry out at all. So this will be for hash time. That way we don't destroy the show early with involuntary silence. So
Yeah.
anyways, how's your week? What's going on?
Good. I've been busy with the build out. We got veg going today.
Yeah, we got plants in the bedroom.
Yeah. I buy a bunch of stuff for that. Yeah.
And a new page I saw. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I made a page, but I hadn't done anything with it for a while. And I was like, I sat down today after Spartan left, and I was able to clear out my tents. I don't have tents in this room behind the camera, and it's like a big like playroom.
You got them both down already?
Yeah, hell yeah, I did.
Nice,
I vacuumed and everything. But yeah, we got that, and I threw up the page, Trichome Forge on Instagram. That's what I'm calling it. That's my my grow.
I like it.
We got veg running. We could run a flower, but we don't have any plants, so I'm actually gotta get some Q plugs. That's the little seed cubes I like to use. And the website I used couldn't get them till March 24th, so I gotta find them locally or something. But
they used to have them. They used to carry them at Mighty Grow. I don't know if they still have them.
They didn't have crap last time. It was just like everything was out, so I was just like, yeah.
What about Hydro Capital?
I'm not going back there for a while because that's where I fell with the
bottle.
Tank. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Hydro Capital, huh?
You can't show your face again now.
Not for a little bit, but no. When I was there, they didn't have them. All they had was Riot. Okay. And I
can
like
stop in there and look
Riot.
for you if you want me to. I can look in there.
Yeah, check occasionally, but it'd be nice to get them locally. I'm thinking about hitting up Elevated and seeing if I can just snag a bag or two. But
Wasn't there one? Is there still? Oh, okay, yeah, Elevated. I was just say, isn't there a store out there in Michigan
I
Center?
don't know
That
if
might be the only one.
Elevated's trying to get. There was one there. They shut down, I guess, before I even moved here.
Yeah, the indoor grow
But
store.
I don't know if Elevated's trying to get like people like what is it, walk in, but they definitely supply bigger grows, and I'm gonna see if they can supply our caregiver and just deliver everything.
That'd be dope.
So, cause he has, I've been inside the warehouse. It's like imagine GrowGen or Grow Green,
Grow Green.
but nobody walked in to mess it up. You know what I mean? There's not 1,000 customers a day moving
Yeah.
crap around. So everything's where it's supposed to be. There's nothing on the floor. It's all
That's
on
awesome.
shelves, and he has everything, especially like Q plugs and stuff like that. So
Dope.
I'm
Have
gonna
you
see if
been?
they can work with me. They got the
Grow Green
cocoa
would be
I
another
like.
option if we have to, because I know they deliver.
Have you been?
Yeah,
there since
exactly.
their new location.
Say what?
Have you been to Grow Green since they went to their new location? I think sometime last year they might have moved.
From
I
like
did
the
go
end
to
of
the new
the dead
location.
end.
Yeah,
They were on like a dead end.
Yeah, now it's a dead end.
they still. Well, I feel like.
Oh, they bought the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna let people walk in that. I thought that was storage.
this place is massive.
Okay.
They're
I'll have
like,
to check it
yeah,
out.
the nutrients are like 4 warehouses down. Go find them. And you're like,
Where's the golf carts when you need them?
you need a high low. You're like, all right, you need go take this quick test to get a high low driver's license so you can go
Yeah.
pull your own pallet
You need
off.
those wheels like they zip around on in there.
I was about to say they're gonna get the Yeti wheel, the one wheels or something, and they're just gonna have those and be like, here, hop on a one wheel and go get what you want.
I got
Shout out
Uh,
to Jay Patrick, 4-month member. That's
Yeah,
cool to see
thanks,
on
Jay.
YouTube.
Also want to shout out our Patreons as always. Thank you. And Dick's Medibles, our sponsor. Get you some gummies, some of the best I eat when I eat them. I gotta eat like 4 packs because they're
The
only
best
100
dicks you
mils.
eat or the best gummies you eat? Or
Best
both?
gummies.
Oh.
Best gummies to clarify. It's weird that you went that way, but I'll clarify.
So they're not the best dicks you eat. Okay, interesting.
I don't eat any dicks, so except for Dick's Medibles. But you won't even eat the dick-shaped ones. Got some
There's no
lime
need to.
skunk.
What's the need to do that?
Classic. That's
It's
classic.
just a gummy. It's the shape.
I don't even like gummies that much, so why eat one shaped like a dick?
I guess. They got the new Nerds ones though
I'm
that
bored
are
with this
square
question.
shaped. They're pretty good.
Why would I eat a basic square or even a flip flop shaped one when I could have a dinosaur or potentially a skull and crossbones?
You could.
If you only
That's a good
have like
question.
1 or 2 gummies a year, I mean, and there's molds for like all kinds of gummies. You can literally be very picky with the type of gummy that you want.
Yes.
I would do like
agree.
seasonal shapes.
You want to know why you put dicks in your mouth? Because it's about mouthfeel. The gummies are all about mouthfeel. Some people like triangles, some people like hexagons, some people like little tiny thin squares, like the nawas or whatever they call them,
But
But
some people like dicks. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
just the
Okay.
perfect mouthfeel. Hey guys,
What's up,
Ferroli?
Ferroli?
It's a hell of an
We're
interest,
just
man.
getting into it.
Well, you get 1 ball on one end or 2 balls on the other. That's what Dix gives you options. He gives you a choice.
I mean they're little, but yeah, I guess it depends on how many you can fit in your mouth.
That
Is that
been a
really comes
contest
in. He's
yet?
like, not only do I like the dicks, but they're too small. They're just
He had that
Need
like
bigger
that
dicks.
answer
Need
loaded
bigger
up
dicks
too.
than
As soon as I brought him in, he was like ready to roll.
I might have been watching for
But
about 30
I'm-
seconds
yeah.
before I hopped
Hey.
in.
Question in chat. So Baked not growing anything at the moment? That's ridiculous. I'm always growing stuff. I still got a flower room in the house, and I still got.
Drew this.
We
I'm
moved
smoking
veg. Yeah, the Caps junkie. We moved veg
Oh, nice.
from my house tents, and we took down the tents and moved all the veg into a proper room in my pole barn. So now it's running out there. I got a little tiny humidifier and it's working. It's like got it at 70%. And I checked on it. Lights came on at 7, just like we wanted.
Kicking
Everything's
ass.
good.
Is it like a 70 pint dehu, or is it one of the even smaller than that?
No, dude, this is like a put you in your bedroom. You know,
Oh,
it's a hot one, so it boils, which is nice. So it keeps it clean. But yeah, we weren't sure, but I don't have a big one yet. You know, I don't have a
wait, did you say humidifier?
humidifier.
I got
Yeah,
you.
it was because I only got this is a 17.5 foot room by 12 feet by 10 foot high, and we only got eight 1 gals, and the rest is like quarter gals. Like if you check out Spartan's
Wow.
Instagram, he took a video of the room
Just do
today.
just do a screen share on the Instagram.
Yeah, I'll pull
Let's
that up.
pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Whip it
there's
out,
I
babes.
don't think there's enough plants to humidify it out, so we got that in there, and it seems to be working. Let's see.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
like
it, man.
this desktop app, by the way. If anybody's never
I've been
mentioned it.
I've been transitioning things from one room to another in preparation for just kind of resetting it. And I currently have 10-gallon plant under one out of 2 lights in the GML room, and I'm getting nothing but low humidity warnings all day on my Trollmaster.
Yeah, we're back into winter again somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Spring, and now we're finally getting winter.
So there's the 1 gals.
Yeah.
I only got half the lights on, and they're at the lowest setting just because there's no need. Got a box fan for some bottom circulation. We don't even have the CO2 hooked up. It's not even eating the CO2. I checked.
It was up to
today.
800 before we left.
Yeah,
go stand in there for 10 minutes a day. That's probably enough.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's my new logo for the
Shout
page.
out to Anything Grows. She's in chat.
Yep.
She designed that.
She drew that. She surprised me at first, then we worked on it. Well, really, Spartan he told me early, and but it came out really cool. There's actually my dice that I make or plan on making with my logo on there, and yeah, so it's the start of a little journey. So hopefully I'll be shoveling some flour your way for Growly, and we'll get some dabs flowing.
We'll be forging the trichomes, and you'll be polishing them at the end. Man.
Yeah, collect them, man. Hey, speaking of which, if anybody has anything ready to go, I'm particularly talking here to the panel, but I guess current clientele as well. I'd be more than happy to get some of that ran.
I got 3 Mac 1s.
I want to bring some collab stuff to Hash Bash if possible, because I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to make it more than a day and a half, and then I'm going to have to sell my table because I'm not going to have anything left.
What is the deadline for?
Yeah.
No, realistically, maybe like
yesterday.
No. Because I haven't even harvested anything yet out of my own garden. I haven't harvested, processed, or packaged a single thing other than topicals so far.
We're still.
Well, you've had a big week, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You haven't brought that up.
If you guys give me something by Monday or Tuesday, I think I could have it ready by Hash Bash Cup. I think that's realistic.
Yeah, we're not.
Like next week, Monday or Tuesday. Just chop it a week early, dude.
I just had my harvest. I had my harvest a couple days ago. I wish you'd have said something as a bliss bud. I haven't. That would have been a good one to concentrate, I think. I need to grow like a couple. I need to grow like enough to like.
Wait, what'd you say? Next week?
Yeah, Monday. If you get it to me like Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, 100%. I'll have 3 Mac 1 plants.
Do you know how quick I turn around?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, Mac 1.
So I think we'll do that. I think we'll do that because I'd much rather have concentrate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're getting me excited.
That's 3 Mac 1, dude. Dang.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep 1 stalk of each in flower because I did flush them different. But that's all I need to taste it and see if they smoke different.
And it'll be interesting. There'll be some good content. We can do a smoke report on the concentrate with the 3 different ways. See if we can tell the difference in the.
Well, no, he'll have to mash them. I want him to mash them because they're not. I don't know. I don't think I'll have enough 1 plant per.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to mash them. That's why I'm saying I gotta save a
So
little bit of each
we'll do
for
the smoke
flour.
reports on the 3. See if we
flour.
can tell the difference on the flour, and then at the same time we'll have the concentrate at the
Yeah,
end.
and then
You're
we'll
right.
just
Oh, yeah.
and ooh, yeah.
I like it.
I can do that. We'll yeah. I'll freeze that up.
Nice.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah, let's I don't know, follow up with me later this week, and we'll set up a time to hook up.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds good to me. So yeah, you heard it here. We'll probably have some Mac 1 baked pone for Groli at Hash Bash Cup.
Nice.
Is it the cup you're going
Well,
to?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll have some too. So if wherever you're at,
Yeah.
I
I might hoard all mine for myself.
Hey, I was gonna say, you see them out and about, you better be hitting them up,
Yeah, I might give out some samples for free. Here you
it might
go.
be the
But
head
like,
stash, like
I love head stash. Yeah, I blew through the Chernobyl.
I was.
Oh
I
god,
mean, I
that
guess I
Chernobyl
shouldn't
was so
be, but I
good.
was surprised how quick. It's
That's what we
fun to
need to
share.
do. That's what we need to do. Baked is we need to do like a table of Chernobyl, and then we can pop all those burgers for the first pheno hunt, and we can just do all the burger and then fill in Chernobyl to make the full tables in there.
Oh,
And
what Chernobyl? The ones I haven't cloned?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying for
Yeah.
our first run. That way we can put the Chernobyl on the concentrate, and we can have the burger for flour.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah,
Because we're
there's only
pheno hunting,
3.
right?
There's only 3. But I gotta keep one of them. I gotta keep one of them to pollinate.
Right.
Remember, that's my next thing. I want to smack one and go ahead and get the F2s. So I don't know.
That's why you
It'd
should
be
have kept that
fine,
pen up.
but we can mother it out. We can mother the 1 out or the 2
just
out.
mother it.
But yeah, we can figure something out. But I was telling Spartan today, I'm thinking about. I have a Caps Junkie and a Mac 1 that are like right. I just put flour in here. I'm thinking about turning all the fans off, maybe even laying plastic over everything else, all the other plants, and hitting Mac 1 and Caps Junkie, maybe a cola or 2 with some Chernobyl pollen, and see what comes of that. I don't know, but my main goal is to get those F2s. That's what I was saying. I really
Bag
need
them
to
and tag them, man. I mean, it's
but,
one way to
yeah.
start.
Well, it's like order of operations. My Chernobyls are in.
Garlic
They just
Junkie.
got roots.
Yeah, it's
in
Garlic
clones.
Punch and Cap Junkie collabed with 321 Genetics. And
Okay.
I've seen Cap Junkie and Point Break. Like, this dude's on top of his strains, because those, every time he brings me a strain, I'm like, oh, there it is again. Like Bake's talking about it, or Spartan's talking about it, or somebody like involved in the commercial market, or that's on top of lineages and breeders and stuff like that. They let me know that it's out there already, and I'm like, oh shit, this is new to me. But yeah, Cap Junkie and Point Break were both 2 great strains. The Mr. Nasty was an interesting one too, but
do you know the lineage on that?
That one I don't. I have to look that up real quick.
Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got this week.
It'd be interesting to have. I don't think I've had Mac in extracted with BHO before. I've had it as a rosin, so it'd be interesting.
Well, that's why people grow it, is for that delicious dump and bubble hash and stuff, and then pressing it out in rosin, and that's just like one of those cuts that really got tilted towards that side of the hash market.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting to try it in the VHO form.
Yeah, and of course flour too. Like, it's obviously very popular flour.
One of my favorites, man. It still is one. It's in my head stash. I got it right here. Like
GMO and Grease Monkey is Mr. Nasty.
Oh wow!
So no wonder. That sounds delicious. Interesting. There's this new website called Hitiva, Cannabis on Demand, and they got like let me bring this up. They got like terp. It looks like Leafly the way they have it, their interface, but they got Mr. Nasty here, and they got actual tests with,
data like that,
which is kind of cool. So it's heavy in limonene, beta caroline, myrcene, not a lot. At least this batch that they had, but
a little over 1%. Yeah, I'd be curious to know where these test results come from. I'm sure if you get in the footnotes, it'd tell you. But
yeah, that's the thing, and but
like
I mean, I haven't seen this website, and now that this is the 3rd time I've seen it though, searching a strain in this weekend.
Huh.
So I wonder if they're legit or not.
I wonder how much those terpene relationships vary on a F1 or a F2.
Yeah.
You know, like I maybe on an F5 or something or F4. You know,
Well, that'll be interesting. You know what? I'll test this Chernobyl,
yeah.
or Spartan can test his Vortex, and then he's got F2s coming, so
Yeah.
You guys might
test
be
that and
surprised.
see what's more dominant.
You guys might be surprised how much it changes from grow to grow, even if you're not changing any elements in your own garden, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a swing of plus or minus 3% on just THC alone, let alone
outdoor?
terpene profile, which is, can get real intricate, once you start
Yeah.
testing down to 12, 15 terpenes or something.
This outdoor has some serious flavor to it still, comparatively to indoor that we have from the same time frame. It's amazing. This shit was stored much worse. All of our indoor is stored, in glass since we trimmed it. This has been stored in Ziploc bags and never been trimmed.
Getting that slow cure.
So, yeah, like it's got a really, really nice moisture level to it. It's nice and dry. It's just got a little bit of moisture to it, and the seeds just came out great. While I got the mic, I just shout out to Daddy Red. I saw him in chat. Mama Red, Daddy Red. They had a 39th, almost 40 years, almost 4 decades wedding anniversary on St. Patrick's Day.
Nice.
Got a little
Congrats.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
39 years,
That's
guys.
awesome.
A milestone.
Shit, should we?
Milestone. It's it's inspirational to say the least. With us having our our wedding here in August coming up.
Hell yeah.
Exciting.
Excited for that.
Yeah, man, big time.
BBB.
I'm operating the dab station.
Please.
I'm sponsoring it. You can run it.
Hell yeah.
Dab
Sounds
station.
good to me.
Have a dab
Dude, yeah, dab bar, man. You don't even have to hire us like you would a bartender. We're literally gonna just run a dab bar for free. I told you I got counters and everything. It's perfect.
We're at a different location now.
We're still outside though,
This is
so
gonna be different.
I think it'll be
We
okay.
can do it inside
Can
too.
we bring a tent? Can we just?
Well, see,
I have my own tent, guys, or you guys do.
we can put both
I
tents
This is
together.
not my first
Put both
rodeo.
tents together. We'll have 2 tents.
There you go. Be like Big Cloud all over again.
Tents on tents on tents.
Two white tents. They're 2 white. A white tent. I got a white tent.
I threw out my 4x4 today. By the way.
I'm gonna need
Why?
Look at the size of this rock.
It's
on this
5
Scarlet
or
Sea.
6 years old and it was rusty on the bottom.
It could have been a breeding tent. That's a big dab, dude.
I'm not gonna take that,
Yeah,
but
take
that's
that.
that's like a gram and a half dab.
Do
What?
Yeah, like in that jar. That's like I
I
don't,
like
know, I don't know.
that
It's just
consistency, though.
Bust
I
out
like
the
that
e-nail and throw that
oh, it's
glob in
already
there.
it's here. Yeah, no, I mean
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna save that for a special.
Somebody needs to come out with an e-nail that has a turbo button for
I mean,
when you're
that-
doing a big one, so it
Could've-
like holds
like,
temp a little bit hotter for longer or something. In the expectance
I mean,
of
it
a
just
bigger
it depends on the
glob.
power of your and the coil.
I guess,
but
yeah,
most
yeah.
should do it. Like mine only drops like even with a,
Big glob.
yeah, like maybe up to a half gram. It's only gonna go like 12-degree difference or something like that.
All they need
That's
to
pretty
do
good.
is
That's pretty good.
is-
Yeah.
they just need a standard e-nail, and then they just need to put a button on the side that automatically adjusts it like 5 to 10 degrees higher.
So the
for like-
Puffco could do
For like
that.
30
That's what I'm
seconds. For like
saying.
30
Yeah, yeah,
seconds.
like a little manual.
Yeah,
and then it goes
Puffco
back
you
and then
could-
bolts
yeah.
back down to the.
And I finally fucked
Like
with
your
it at
radio
the last.
button. It just goes like one radio station at a time instead of
No,
Oh,
more
sync,
like
yeah.
more like the bass boost, like regular bass and then
Yeah, yeah.
bass boost.
Dude, I was messing with the Puffco Peak at the last Third Eye Craft Fair I went to, and I was standing over at Red Setter's booth with Becca and Red, and I was like on the app because I finally like connected it to my app, and all of a sudden I realized there's all these different like light settings. There's like disco and like lupus awareness and the Puffco like whatever, and like you can make your own. So we're just like having a party from 20 feet away, like setting all these crazy like settings and stuff. But that's one of the things that I really like about it is even before the Puffco Peak Pro, the Puffco Peak Original would do this too. It just wasn't, I guess, customizable. And that with the new one, the Puffco Peak Pro, you can change it on the app to extend for like, either 1 to 60 seconds and maybe add no like temperature, or maybe add 5 degrees, maybe add 20 degrees, you know. And so you can kind of get that boost with an additional double tap. They used to call it sesh mode. I don't know what they call it now. But yeah, it's great for like kind of extending your dabs. What I did though, in addition to, of course, color, you know, making crazy colors come out of it while I'm dabbing, is I lengthen the amount of time, because I realized I was like always hitting that sesh mode anyway. So instead of doing a 30 or 45 second default, whatever it is, I extended it to 60 seconds. And then I adjusted the temperature until I found like kind of what worked for me. But yeah, I rarely hit that sesh mode now, because I'm just, you know, I've set it to what I like. And that's kind of the beauty of something customizable about that, or like that. But that's also the beauty of e-nails. It's going to keep it consistent because it's plugged into the freaking wall, guys. I have this set at 605 right now. It dropped down to 602, and then it went back up to 606. That's the range on it.
You said that was like, get that shit right. It's plugged into the freaking wall.
Yeah, I mean, hard to go wrong.
Yeah. The only thing I don't really like about e-nails, and not all of them, but like, I'm sure there's a company doing it right, but like, I don't like, sometimes they're proprietary with their quartz. So like, you gotta buy a bucket from them, you know? And it's like, I want to be able to just, oh no, mine broke and I need a dab. I'm going to the bullshit Wild Bills or whatever and buying some $25, $30 one.
Hey,
So know what helps?
Wait,
Know what
before you go there, Bake, from now on, Winewood's got them for 15 now, dude.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nice.
Or just
what
go
are
online.
those?
So this is what your e-nail plug is. It's a 5 thing,
Yeah.
right? The only thing that's different, I mean,
Is
I
that
know there's
10?
different plugs. The only thing that's different is the routing of the wires to the plugs. So this right here is a oh, it's not D-nail. What is it? I forget. It's one of those local head shop,
conduct.
like whatever brands you get. You know what I
Okay.
mean? What happens though is I've been repping. I gotta pull the plug out on this thing. I've been repping this thing so long, and this is, you know, literally
That's
done
cool.
like 100,000 dabs on it, that I just drove it over to the guy that made these, Jeff from Michigan Made Melts, and had him rewire this to his e-nail, because that's the thing. His e-nail technically is proprietary too, right? Because his uses a different wiring structure than what this company does. All you had to do is resolder a couple of wires. I think anyone on this panel could probably do that. It's just knowing the setup of those connections. So it might be a little trial and error.
Well,
I
I mean,
know he was telling me funny things can happen when you like get it wrong, but yeah, I mean, that's really all it is.
I mean, yeah, but that would mean you're buying coils. I'm not buying no coil. I want to keep buying one coil for a long time.
We just rewired the same coil
For what? To a different box?
to the same box. I bought a new coil for a new rig, and like a different, like I went from the titanium to the quartz, right? And I got a whole new cord and coil, and he just rewired the coil because the coil was wired
To work with his
differently.
box.
Yeah, to work with his box, because
okay, I
they were
see
not
what you're
compatible, but literally it plugs into each other. And if they plug into each
You
other,
came
all
from
you gotta do is rewire it.
titanium to quartz,
quartz,
in
correct.
this. I'm talking about you got
But
quartz,
I also bought a new coil.
and you broke your quartz. Let's say your quartz breaks
Okay.
or something, or you get Chaz out. I don't know. They're
You're talking
not
about the width
standard.
of
They're
the-
not. Yeah, they're not standard enough across the board to where you can go buy a 25 mil quartz banger and stick it in a 25 mil coil.
I've
You
never
should
had
be
that
able
issue
to, but
outside of Terp Slurpers because they're designed differently.
yeah.
But there are, like, you're right in that there's like basically 3 different standard sizes. And if I'm good enough here, I'll be able to show you. Well, I guess I'm not good enough, but I have there's multiple different sizes.
the effort that
And
counts.
so if you look at this, I believe
Yeah.
that is a 14 millimeter male
Yeah.
going into an 18 millimeter female. And so this is not only a drop down.
I'm not talking about the glass on glass. I'm talking about the quartz bucket. So like
So you're talking about this piece that like connects.
Banger.
the banger, a
Okay.
quartz banger,
Let's back up. Right.
a regular bucket.
Okay, so you're talking about the cord or the nail or the coil.
Yeah.
See,
attaches
yours
to
is
the-
Coil
sick.
rust
Yours is sick. You have that one with the bottom lock thing. So
Well,
like
that's
that's
kinda how they
probably
all
never
are
gonna
now.
break or come out. So that's pretty sick. But I'm talking about like
You're
this
talking about like a regular banger with that sitting on
without
it.
that thing. Let's say like that some e-nails come with this. They don't have like a nice lock like yours does.
Yeah. it's
Let's
just
say
like
this breaks or gets chazed up. E-nail to
Here's
e-nail
this now.
company, they're not standardized, so you can't just go buy another. This is 25 mil, by the way. This
What?
a standard banger should be 25 mil.
Oh, the width of the banger.
The
okay.
width of the yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Okay.
So if you go to the Wild Bills and you buy 25 mil, it's probably not the right. Like I've had them where they don't hold, so then you need the extra like hooks and stuff. But what you just showed me solves all that. If people would just sell bangers with locks.
Yeah, and you can get them out there. I mean, I bought several
Yeah.
bangers. One got broken at a show, and I just pulled out another one because they're not crazy expensive. I know there's 200, there's 300. You know, even at Wild Bills or whatever. I almost said Buffalo Wild Wings. Even at Wild Bills, there's $290 hand blown, Michigan made bangers and stuff. That's great. They're gonna stand up better. They're gonna hold up to heat and ISO dips and all that kind of stuff more. What I'm doing with them is putting them through
Yeah.
a hobbyist
Events and
use
stuff.
in a very shared way. And sure enough, one of the events last year, it got like probably the second one I ran, this new quartz banger, maybe the third, I don't know, something like that. It got knocked over and it immediately cracked the banger, and it's like, all right, well, we got to ditch that. Fortunately, we had a backup or two. That's why I also have a couple of these converters, because I have a 18 millimeter neck on this sucker.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to find an 18 millimeter male
14
for a banger.
and 10 became the
14
dab
and 10 is very
standards.
common. Yeah.
Let alone an e-nail banger.
My old dab rig was like that for girls. It's an 18 though.
Mhm.
And then I really quickly learned. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
they're all moving
less
to
air
14
and-
until or 10.
How long do those bangers last when you're doing an event or a show? Will they last through the whole event? Will they chaz up on you, or what's the shelf life on one of those things?
I mean, if you got Mrs. Ferroli running it, it'll last you a few shows probably. But
She's clean
you
between
gotta-
each one.
Yeah, oh yeah, every single one we clean, not
Yeah.
only the banger, but we also ISO swab the mouthpiece, for I guess as sanitary as we can get it, But in terms of it depends on the concentrate too, guys. Like, not to toot my own horn over here, but what we're running is a lot cleaner than probably the majority of what's out there. So,
Absolutely, dude. I can attest to that.
For sure.
It's just not gonna dirty it up as quickly. Now, you just saw my banger. It's not clean by any means. I just cleaned my whole glass rig is pretty pristine, other than maybe the 10 dabs that have gone through it. But all I did was give this banger an ISO soak. I didn't do that whole torch thing to get that chaz off there. It is chaz, but since I turned this on, this has been running straight for an hour and a half, and most days it's probably running for 12 hours. I don't know.
He's ready.
You find that temperature helps, or do you just have your temperature that you stick to?
My temperature range is about plus or minus 10 typically. I just brought it down to 605 because I was doing a couple heavy dabs the other day at 620, but that lasted about 36 hours, and I'm like, all right, I gotta bring it back down a little bit. I just a couple sleepers, but it's six. It depends on the hardware and stuff. This typically runs about 610. I brought it down to 585, and for those bigger dabs, it's just not enough. And I should probably give it an honest temperature gauge. And I'm not talking with an infrared gun. I'm talking with my there's a word for it, but it's like a super expensive thermometer. It's like a thermal contact thermometer. It's one of the ones we used for extraction back in the day. Differential something thermometer. From
You can say anything, I'm just gonna believe you at this point.
I haven't busted out in a long time because I haven't really needed it, but it's gonna be pretty damn accurate. And you just touch the metal contact right into wherever the dab's gonna go, and that will give you an exact temperature, and then I can just stare at my
So it's got like a
calibrate it.
thermocoupler on it, like the what Bake's got to measure his.
I'm gonna get this. What is the company that produces the vacuum pumps? It starts with an M. Blue, maybe yellow is in their logo. It's like blue, the color of Spartan's hat. Yeah, maybe a little bit between that and the
It's
color
got a
of
gray hat. But
yeah. I mean, I
No,
call
it's
that
blue.
blue.
It's actually
Thank
blue.
you.
It is blue.
It's more like North Carolina blue, but
Yeah, it's like a baby
starts
blue.
with an M. Come on, chat. Come on, my processors.
The only vacuum thing I even know of is just Best Value Vaccine. I don't think they.
I got it from them. It's not Thomas Scientific.
Well, then we just got to do a Google Best Value vacuum pumps.
I just googled it. Yeah, someone type in differential thermometer at shopbbb.com. Not Mondi.
Because what I like about that, what the fuck is it even called? I can't even remember the damn thing. Name of it.
Turbometer?
Yeah, the turbometer was it actually has a thermocoupler, so it's actually touching the heat source, right? It's not a fucking because it gets reflected so easy on the glass and the different surface, the shiny surface.
I like those ones where it's like the wand
and the rounded
goes under the bucket.
Yeah, I saw those too, Beck. I think that's really cool. It just kind of hovers underneath it a little bit.
It's called a dab, right?
They're expensive as shit though. When I looked at them, I was like, that's kind of expensive.
Dude, there's like little like scissor lifts and all kinds of things that you can get to like align your rigs and dab rights and gauges and anything else.
Mastercool.
Mastercool. Is that the name of this?
Look up.
Probe?
I think I found it. It's Mastercool digital differential thermometer, and it's a dual channel, so it's got 2 nodes on it. It looks like they're only $100. I think they're like $250 when I got it.
That's cool. They're only $100.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool setups people have for sure.
They have a $100 infrared one too.
When it's your like main way you like to consume cannabis, you have to conserve it, and it's expensive product, and so you have to, that's why I like the Ruby insert so much, because it just prolongs the dab so much, and I can actually have the whole dab without it getting burnt, because I don't have the full setup. I don't have we have an e-nail, but I prefer.
I heard people talking about Ruby pearls also.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there were pearls that were Ruby also, which would, I'm guessing, serve.
They don't even always need to be Ruby either. I have something in there. You can see the one pearl dangling.
Yeah.
I had 2, lost the other one in the snow when I cleaned it last. It burnt. Actually, it wasn't even the snow. It was in an ice pile under one of my gutters, and it burnt a hole because it was still hot. It burnt a hole into the ice, and I could do nothing to tweezer it out, man. And I'm like, I'll just get it when it melts a little bit.
Wait till spring.
I waited, and it stayed frozen. It snowed a little bit more, and it covered it up. And I was like, okay, now I really got to wait. And I waited, and then everything melted, and it was gone. So I don't know where it is at this point, somewhere down my driveway. I'll get another one. It was probably like $2.50 or something, but yeah, they work extremely well, man. And honestly, I would get a bigger one. I like the Ruby insert you guys have because it is so big. It's going to hold a lot of heat, especially in something like an e-nail. It's like a double boiler in an e-nail. You know what I mean? So it's always holding a consistent heat.
It's like party mode for your banger.
Yeah, man.
And so right in there, it doesn't bang around.
Yeah, that thing's sick.
And you could almost put a pearl inside of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Totally. I've seen them.
Actually, a ruby pearl inside of it. Ooh.
Yeah, a ruby pearl inside of that, but make it with an e-nail, and I think that might be the ultimate setup, depending on your rig.
Yeah, it'd probably have enough, because I mean that's like the size of a little tiny banger. You might get a little spin action out of it, or at least one of those like rods that might like that.
I was gonna say there's so many different types of spinners too. Like this one is just like a straight pass through spinner, right? But it's got that directional, so it's technically a directional spinner.
Yeah. So
you can kind of spin it yourself, right?
Yep.
And then you've got this honeycomb style. Hold on, let me. You guys are gonna love this one. Come on, Uline fans. Where's my Uline fans at?
That's
palette of
awesome.
Post-it notes. Come on now. That's
How'd
a
you
pallet
get
of
that?
pasta. It's a freebie if you spend like 200, 250 bucks, something like that.
I told the boss about the freebies.
It's because you got to be the
I said
ordering
you
that.
go to the back of the book. We can get free shit every time you
Don't tell them
order.
about the freebies.
I
Just
didn't
tell
know
them
we
to
could
give you
get
the
that
credit card.
shit. I don't have access.
Order the
to
freebies.
Uline.
So that one's got like a I don't mean to like throw the. This is just some cheap.
I like those. Those
Yeah,
like
it's
cuts.
head shop, whatever. But yeah, it's so this spins it, right? This is gonna spin whatever is in there. Yep, that's what. So what you have right there, Spartan, is my favorite one, and this is the dirty one. This is the one I'm not using. It's got holes on the bottom. Let's try to do this.
Yeah, it's my favorite too, man. I love it.
Holes on the bottom, you can see right there, but it's bringing air and spinning it as it goes down.
I like all those little vortex
Taking,
makers.
yeah, taking it from the top there.
So you don't have to do anything. You just pop this
Yeah.
in, and it makes the vortex, and it
It's a cool
spins the pearls with you just hitting
Yeah.
the piece.
And then just when you want to let some air, more air through, you just take it off, or
Just pop it off.
or do what I do. I actually put my finger on top and take that.
That's
Yeah,
how
there's a patch through at the top. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
it's inspired by the
We've got like this and
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's like
that's the
Directional.
More of a
non-directional.
directional. Yeah.
It's what do they call it? It's like a
it's a wrist motion. You just have to manually motion
wrist
It's
twist.
like mixing a pot.
Yeah,
it.
and stirring some stew or something. And then there's this
Yeah.
last one I have.
Oh yeah, I've got one
This-
like that too.
That one.
This used to be my favorite. Again, it's just all
That's
rhino glass.
officially my
Whatever
favorite. What is that?
So this
That
is
one's better for
um,
the smaller openings too.
Wait a minute. That's not a piece to a pipe.
so this not to that pipe. Well, sort of, I guess. You just sit it right on top, and it's so heavy. And if you come in close there, it actually has these little gaps in there
Yeah.
That's
whoa.
pretty
around
neat.
it.
There it is.
And
That's
so
Whoa,
It's-
Spartan's
it's-
got one.
it's gonna
Oh.
vortex it down. You see that?
That's cute. You guys match.
Yeah, dude. It's literally like $5 from every head shop you're gonna go to, and
You
most
do
grocery
have
stores nowadays too.
comment.
both
You
have
do have stuff in
pointy
common.
ribs.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Besides
it.
the beer.
So I have this banger here that's got sand in it,
I was gonna
so-
say,
so
what's in that?
so that holds heat, and then it's got an actual little. So
Oh, interesting.
and so then this thing works great because of that, because the inside's actually a lot smaller than a normal
yeah.
banger. It's more narrow. This works perfect for that piece because it's so narrow at the end.
Well, and that's the beauty of it is that you could. I mean, even if you got like a wider one, it'll work with that too because it's a cone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, exactly.
fit
Just
somebody
a
different.
deeper end.
And you don't have to take it off. You don't have to spin it. You don't have to do anything. And it's heavy enough that it just sits on there. So that was actually the one I liked taking to shows, and because you just set it on there and you're like, all right, have fun, With this one though, it's just you could control everything about it more, like the pace of the inhale, the kind of the temperature of the burn, the convection of the burn, if you will. It's a vortex, it spins the pearls. Like we've talked about before, I actually still have on here the auto spinner bangers.
Yeah, I like
holes
those.
in there.
Yeah.
Those holes in there are going to force air in a certain direction and spin the air regardless of what carb cap you have anyway. So it's just, I don't know, it adds more airflow, which
I like that.
probably for the piece I have with the 18 millimeter opening, it's probably not the best thing. But it's literally the last one I put on because that other one broke and I haven't changed it since. So I just keep cleaning it.
That's funny. I'm watching Skunk Ape. Shout out to Skunk Ape Glassworks. He's in a lot of the chats for the different shows I'm on, but he's a glass blower, and he said, taking notes, what kind is more desirable?
So many variables.
I don't know. Let me see. My favorite one. Shit. I don't know. I really just like the bubble
with
cap we
Fugro.
always use, Spartan that I have.
I'm really with Frugali, and this is my favorite one.
If I'm getting a spinner, here's the deal. I want a basic ass bubble. Here's the deal, skunk. It's either this basic ass bubble with a hole in it and an
Yeah.
opal, because opals are the best. Put opals in everything, by the way.
What about the
Um,
rubies now? We were just talking about the rubies are pretty bad.
Rubies are good to go in the banger because they hold heat. These
Functional.
are for looks.
That's just for flash. Okay.
But if it's this or if I gotta get a spinner, I want the spinner that's the most functional. I want that shit to fucking spin like a superconductor or whatever they call them.
You can do a little dance.
That's what this is, dude. I'm telling you. You
Yeah.
try. I'll have to bring it over and you can try it.
Especially when you close that
I've
top.
had one of
man,
those
it's just-
before. It
no
all
shit.
depends on the brand, though. I'm just saying you gotta get it right and make that. I love that sound.
Yeah, there's a reason I own 2 of them, and it's not the only 2 I've owned. I think I went through one before that.
Yeah. There's so many cool things now with bangers. Like I know some people in Choward Black Sale Market, and there's some other ones. What is the other one? Ruby Pearl Co. There's a bunch of them
Mhm.
that just
I think I've
you
seen
get
them advertised
all
before,
kinds of
too.
bangers for like $40 to $60, and they're decent because you know these things aren't
That's
that hard.
awesome, Becca.
So I don't know.
That's a sweet case. I got a little nervous when she walked up with a case. I
Yeah.
feel like all these cool $8 or $5 carb caps I just showed are about to be.
They're
put to
not
shame.
that cool. They're not that cool, man. I got a bunch of little shapes though.
Oh. Yeah. What about? Okay, hold on, real quick. Can we make D&D die that are like pearl, like spinners or whatever? Would that work somehow, or would it just immediately just start shattering your banger up?
Wait, what do you
Ooh,
mean?
make like
You
they
can-
make
how do you
D20s
incorporate
for your pearls, but yeah, they
Yeah.
might.
You could,
fucking-
so you know the guys that facet stuff.
Inside of a globe. That's how you do
The
it.
guys that facet
Yeah,
stuff
inside
could,
a globe.
could,
You have to
could
sink-
do one.
Yeah, you have to sink a D&D die
Oh.
into a globe of whatever material, like glass or whatever you're using, borosilicate. But like instead of embedding an opal in it, you'd be embedding or an opal
can't-
shaped
you
like a
can't-
D20.
You
How
can't.
about
You would know. You would just get the guys that facet, which is like cut glass, you know, and they make all those good diagonals. They would just make one out of glass. Because if I
But you-
put a resin one in glass and you heat that up to sink it in there, because I've done it with opals, Sequence showed me how. The reason you have to use synthetic opals is because a real opal will melt and like
Oh,
scar
yeah.
up. So same thing with a resin D20 or whatever D. You know, I got the full set I'll be
So
making.
it'd have to be
but
made of opal. You get a synthetic.
yeah, well,
opal.
it had to be made out of synthetic opal or just a different color glass.
Oh,
You could do any color glass and throw it in clear. You know, make that over here with the facet cutter. I don't know what they're called. That's definitely not the
See,
word.
That's what I was thinking, Red. Is like, couldn't you have a bigger ball and just create a D&D die inside of it like that?
I mean, D&D die is 20 sides. It's pretty hard to make.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like to scale though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure somebody could work it out. I don't
come on,
know how.
nanobots, let's go. Nanobot.
Yeah,
glass
yeah.
maker.
That's how we get it done, baby.
Little
Robots.
nanobot etching on some like tiny
Yeah.
pieces of glass.
I got one of those. Yep, right over there. I think I got the same color as him. Yep.
Or just
Green and
3D
white.
printing. Is this a thing yet for like?
They
high
haven't
heat
gotten to
like that?
glass yet, but they've done cement, and I've seen metal, and I've seen. No, I haven't seen metal. Yeah, there's a metal one, I think.
Drop it.
Yeah.
I saw
It'll be interesting to see.
Becca just
one
lost.
that was apparently a hempcrete 3D home printer. Did we watch that on this show? I feel like
That
we
would
got
be
to pass
cool.
around somewhere.
What about this for Goalie? And you may not like this idea.
Oh,
Home. So you got a nice ounce from wherever you get weed. Cool. You take it to your 3D printer sized device, so it's like on the counter. I don't know, 3 foot tall, 3
Someone
foot
told me
wide,
about
let's
this
say.
last week.
And they throw the ounce in the top, and put your cup in the bottom, and here comes some sweet BHO or some
Oh,
sort
never
of
mind. This is something different.
concentrate on demand through robotics, safe robotics.
I mean, yeah, I hope so. I doubt
That'd
it's
be
BHO,
cool.
but I mean, we have basically ethanol machines that do that already. So,
Yeah, that's true.
The safer we can do it, the more automated we do it, and the
It's like a Levo.
exactly right. Those little
Yeah.
olive oil things that keep
Levo
getting
spits it out.
spammed on my Instagram ads. God, these freaking ads.
I get so sick of that.
All right, I'm gonna use Chirp Slurper. Is that no? What is this?
Oh, nice. That's
I think that's a
Turk
Turk Slurper.
No, that's a blender.
A blender.
Blender with
Oh
the,
yeah,
Yeah.
Turf Slipper has like more of a gap. or
Yeah,
something,
turf
right?
slurper. Yeah, I love turf slurper, but it's a lot of work. So
you get that pill and then fucking
yeah, you gotta
water.
clean all that.
Oh, it's a pill and a pearl and a ball and yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
it's a pillar
Pill too.
or pill.
Put it all in
I guess
there,
that's kinda
man.
what turned
Put
me
all
off.
pills and pearls in the thing.
That's literally what turned me off of it. Is I was
Mm.
like, oh man, I have to buy like a set of glassware to go with my glassware. And then I think Bake told me like it's just extremely, yeah, there's a lot of upkeep to it. And then I asked someone before, I think I asked this panel too, but I asked somebody at one of the events about the Turf Slurpers last year, and they're like, yeah, no, they're awesome, like the best, dabs you get, blah blah blah, blah, like your torch, blah blah blah. Use your turpometer, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, like so I know they make them for Eno. I was like, should I get them for the show? And he's like, no. I'm like, what? And I'm like, you just said it was the best dabbing. He's like, yeah, but it's such a pain in the ass to clean. Like, you wouldn't last 10 minutes at a show. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do what I can.
And every time.
Yeah.
Every time you have a dab, you have to, because it gets so messy all up in there. You guys know. But
Yeah, we do.
With all those pieces. Just too
so
much.
that's why I like my little insert, and I just clean it just like a normal banger, and it's so easy.
That's
Again,
like
going
really
back to the clarity, cleanliness, all that, I would be curious to see if that's how much of an effect that has. Trading up different qualities of BHO versus rosin and whatnot. Because let's be honest, a chemical extraction versus a mechanical extraction, there's going to be certain things left behind, and one that's not in the other. And I think that's solids that you're going to see on your banger, quite frankly. Bottom line, that's nothing to do with the technician and the person that's processing it. I think that's just kind of the nature of the science behind it.
Yeah.
That being said, like certainly bad VHOs could leave way worse. We all remember the brown gunk from back in the days and how much that left behind. And it wasn't even bangers; it was just TI nails. And not even.
Recently heard it explained like this, and it started to make more sense. Is that when you hit your banger with a torch, a quartz banger specifically, but other types of glass, it gets hot, and like you can think of like when it was manufactured, right? It got red hot at one point, and it was malleable and pliable. Well, we're hitting these things with a torch. It might not get red hot to where we're going to be able to bend it, but it does get hot enough to where I guess the pores in the glass open up to a certain extent, to where if you do apply contaminated whatever oil to it, what it does is it more like tattoos it. It's like a tattoo. You get down, it embeds itself inside of the glass, in the glass. The contaminants can get down in there. And that's really what it is. That's why it's so permanent and becomes a part of it. And that's why I can never figure out, why can't it just like come off? Why can't it just like this heat? That's why I guess you need the heat treatment sometimes to melt it out of there, to change the structure of the glass.
I think there's a couple things to that too. And I think one is the quality of glass. I'm certain has something to do with what we're talking about in terms of pores. And I want to bring another term into it. I'll call them micro cracks, because you have to consider the fact that, again, very heavily based on the quality of the glass. If you are taking a very hot glass item and then you are dunking it or dipping it or squirting it or whatever with something even room temperature, let alone something that's cold, we'll call it, you're going to be
at least 400-degree difference at that point.
Yeah,
Not
you're
more.
going to be encouraging it at the very least to crack very, very microscopically. Now, over and over and over again, we're using these to dab. And if you're over and over again ISO dunking them from super hot to room temperature, you're more than likely going to be encouraging these micro cracks. Again, if you have a higher quality glass product, it's less likely to happen, but I don't think there's really a level at which it doesn't at all happen, because I've experienced it with Pyrex out of the dishwasher. So, and that was, of course, user error, but I learned about that before I ever touched a bong, I think, and I've seen bottoms fall off glasses more than I can, more fingers than I have. Fortunately, I haven't lost them all, but But yeah, I mean, glass is a finicky thing, so it's like, I don't know. That's why it's like, at a certain point you're buying art, a certain point you're buying stability and quality, but at a certain point you're like, is it just a replaceable, dispensable, kind of reusable
Way to do it.
product, replaceable product?
Here's what I've come to believe for Rolling, and this is a Joel Hale. This is a $150 banger that's probably at the point where it's ruined. So it's not ruined. It's still usable, but like I need to get a new one. It's 3 years old. So it's like you said, all the quartz is going to crack, micro crack if you do that dipping into ISO right after a dab. It's convenient. It gets all the oil, yeah, but it's just like when you make dabs, quality in, quality out. There's kind of a standard. If you have a nice banger and you want to keep it clean, you need to have quality first, because dirty dabs will I think ruin a banger just as quick.
Potentially more contaminant, right? For those,
Yeah, there's just
pores or
contaminant
cracks
that burns and then sticks, and so you gotta have clean dabs. That's I think half the battle, and then you just have to be on top of it as far as right after every dab you Q-tip it, But if you have clean dabs, they should soak up. You know what I mean? If you have a brand new banger, clean dabs, and you got Q-tips ready, and it's that banger's still warm, they should soak everything up. It should stay clean every time forever, and you'll avoid micro cracks, But that's my way about going on the next banger I plan on doing. I'm not dipping it. This one got dipped like a year or two ago before all the glass blowers came out. Even the nice one, making the nicest shit. They're like, yeah, don't dip that. Yeah,
I have a friend that's like he's like me. Like his go-to is an Enel. He's been dabbing longer than I have, and he has a very expensive banger, from what I understand, and he just dunks it. Or no, he doesn't dunk it. He
still dunks stuff. I mean,
he has a soaked ISO, and he just goes right in there. You hear it sizzling and shit.
Yep.
Like, oh, it like hurts my ears.
Dro still does it,
but
they all still do it.
It's clean. It's a clean banger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think at that point, then you are talking about a disposable thing that like, okay, if you let's say you buy $150 one, that's like good for a year and a half, let's say, of doing that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe maybe Dro or somebody will be like, no, I've had mine for 3 years doing that. But as I do remember seeing all the glass blower videos of like, yeah, you shouldn't be dipping your 450 degree, 500 degree banger into cold, essentially cold ISO.
I'm a dry guy, man. I just dry Q-tips all the time. Now I gotta ask you, so this whole 18 millimeter, I'm ready for it. This whole 18 millimeter thing versus 10 versus 14 or whatever, you can see right here in the bend. I mean, that's got to be like 10 millimeters, right? Where if this is 18 millimeters, that's probably less than that. This is certainly a choke point, but eventually, like, we're gonna get down here and it's gonna start getting clogged up with few hundred dabs because it is letting so much of that cooled air in so quickly. And I remember, I think it was you, Baked, mentioned something about keeping it, I don't even know how to explain this from like a scientific standpoint, but basically you want to keep it vaporized until what point? Because like, how do I avoid reclaim?
You're trying to get all the oil vapor to your lungs, and you don't, and that oil vapor is sticky. And it will even get stuck in the water, not to the water, but going through the water, it can get stuck. That's how you get those fucking balls that float around.
Oh, those beautiful little precious balls.
I wish I could get them out and dry them somehow, but
I know, I feel you, dude. Actually, I have gotten them out. I guess maybe you dry them in a dehumidifier, but they're like.
I thought it was gonna be like I shouldn't say that.
They're gonna like flatten very quickly.
Okay.
You know, they don't hold their
their rigidity or whatever. I guess when they're in water, they're kind of like in space. But so the point is to get that so that vapor is sticky. It's sticking to the sides of the glass. It's sticking to everything. So the point is to get that concentrated dab hit, just like a gravity bong. You know how milky a gravity bong gets? It just gets like yellow. So that's just concentrated, dense smoke. Get that to your lungs as quickly as possible. Who cares what happens after it's in your mouth or lungs? You know, but
So a
you
smaller
that's
piece,
so
for
so
example,
smaller.
like
That's why
the
they go
Spartan.
with smaller pieces with less percolation. So it's like, yeah, you get it. You know, you get it through the water in a couple bubbles, which is gonna cool it because that's a bubble traveling through water,
Mhm.
and then it comes to your lungs. You know, you don't want it sticking to 6,000 twirly birds, or if you can help it. And that's why you see all these guys going 14 mil, they're going 10 mil, and some of these dab rigs are almost wearable on your neck.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
lie, no lie for me, guys. It's because this is the showpiece, and this thing,
Yeah, well,
the base. No, let me just explain though, and because it's not perfect. It's so far from perfect, and I wish I could give everyone a better experience. But I want to explain why I use this. Because look at the base on this thing. The base on this thing is bigger than the palm of my hand. It's not going to budge unless you lean into it or you knock the counter over, right? The angle on this is the most important thing. Because whether you're at a table or a counter, having a angle come at you where we can serve you a dab from this side, right? And you're taking the dab from that side.
well, that's a good.
It's
Yep.
it's so much better than a vertical piece or something like that. And that's really like the two primary things for us is stability and like ease of use. Honestly,
Oh shit, dab time. You failed.
no, I didn't. It's still 10 o'clock.
Hashtag.
Yeah, but do you have a new instrument?
Yeah, I do, and I'm not gonna hide it from you guys
We just
because
did a
That's
bunch
fine.
of dabs, and they were very.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I just had a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, congrats.
Thank you
New
guys.
Fergoli in the world.
I busted out the baby toys. Yeah.
Congratulations, you got a new Terp Slurper in the world.
Good baby toy.
I'm hoping he's just a hand in the garden at first. Yeah.
Little Panther Bear.
I was picturing a little lab coat and goggles, but
I like it.
We just took like
All
3
white for sure.
dabs.
Dexter's Laboratory,
Yeah.
upset BHO.
I mean, it is a March baby, and so is my brother. My brother's such a huge nerd, so I don't know. He might be a huge nerd. We'll see.
Shout out to Girlie's brother, the huge nerd.
I like sending
That was
all
a
my
compliment, trust me.
Out to
my
the
people that have kids. There's a little toy for like 1-2-year-olds, and it looks like an Xbox controller, but it's just the loudest buttons and like noises. I'm like, yep, I'm getting them that.
That's what good aunts are for, is getting their like nephews and nieces like just the loudest, most obnoxious toys and a pack of Oreos.
Oh, is this personal?
No. Well, yeah, kind of. My wife is the
Damn.
best aunt ever because she hooks it up with those 3 and 7-year-old,
I'm on an
nieces and
Oreo
nephews.
kick.
Oh,
Birthday cake.
did you
Oreos.
find a birthday cake, huh?
You get them Legos for the feet, drums for the ears, and when they get older, a bag of weed for the nose.
If you're the cool uncle.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Don't forget Hungry Hippos.
My nephews aren't that old.
That's a
Yet.
loud game.
Dude, I was literally playing that like this at dinner time tonight because I just made a giant Italian feast, and I'm like sitting there like hungry hippo. I'm so excited.
Well,
Oh man.
your baby's real cute.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's amazing, very healthy. I got to shout out Mrs. Fergoli. She is amazing. She is such a badass. I've watched her give birth now.
I thought she was. I thought you were gonna say she was standing there rocking you on while you were popping it out. Oh yeah, definitely shot.
No, she's so awesome, guys. Like, she's been obviously a massive supporter of mine for many years, and has been my right hand woman in a lot of ways through the years. For many of you guys that come to a lot of these shows, you guys know that she hasn't been around for the last 6, 7, 8 months, whatever, how long it's been since she found out she's pregnant, and it's been a challenge, for me, to be doing these shows and a lot without her. But God, she's just she's incredible, and she's brought me a couple bundles of joy, and now a son, and she's just smiling through the whole process, literally cracking jokes to the doctors. She's incredible. She has the highest pain tolerance out of anyone I know. I thought I had a high pain tolerance, but I can't imagine. I stubbed my toe and I like keel over in pain. So she's awesome, and she's certainly my biggest supporter, and I'm very happy to announce that I now have a little Mr. Fergoli running around, and it's going to be a wild journey. It's gonna be a wild next couple of weeks here, try to prep for Hash Bash Cup with a little one. Well, I was gonna say running around, but he definitely isn't going anywhere fast right now. But
Yeah, it's kind of easy right now.
yeah. Well,
You guys heard it.
You
here.
don't know what he's dreaming.
You heard it out for
dude, we were questioning that earlier. We're like, what the hell are they dreaming about at this point? Like 3-4 days old, like colors and shapes, because like like cloudiness and like
That's a good
darkness,
yeah.
like-
Probably having PTSD from the traumatic fucking memories of birth.
right?
Flashback.
And then they hit me.
What is the light? What is this light?
Yeah.
They're all good with some darkness for 9 months in a nice little cave.
Right.
It was probably more like super comforting, and like the heartbeat that they hear when they're in the womb and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I bet that would be.
Do they do it like dogs and like when they're in sleeping? Do they move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about? At this stage,
Oh,
have you
dude.
seen
He
it like
stretches and stuff, like he stretches
in
like
sleep?
This. Well, like he'll like kind of like be like waking up and he like stretches,
Hmm.
and then he just like leaves his arms there, and then he's like, oh wait, no, that's not uncomfortable, or that's not comfortable.
Yeah.
And he like brings his arm down, and then like he's tracking me back and forth, and like with his eyes and stuff. We're doing like tummy time. He's lifting his head up, and I mean they're like pretty simple beings. He looks like an alien. You know what I mean? Like they.
No, but I get all that, but I meant like when he's asleep. You know, a dog, you'll be like, what are you doing? They're like shaking, kind of like they might be moving their leg and go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do they do any of that at this stage while they're dreaming, or is it like Becca? It might be like Becca says, all comfort.
There's a lot of facial expressions, even at even immediately out of the womb. It's maybe not so much body movements that I'm noticing. It's more facial expressions, because you're just holding him, right? And like you're looking at him and you see like the REM, the REM movement going. And then, so he's deep sleeping, and then all of a sudden he'll like smile, and you're like,
so that's cool.
You're like your eyes aren't open. Like I'm not making you
so
smile.
something's
He's like
going
smiling
on.
something about something in a dream, and like you can't get him to smile now because he can barely see you like 12 inches away. But he'll crack a smile every once in a while. You're like, yeah, he's got something. Like there's something there. Like, he's thinking about something. Who knows what though? He's got a whole 4 days of experience, like in this. World,
Yeah,
it's wild.
You're super cool.
Yep.
So yeah, family's growing, but she'll be back with us soon to join in the fun and the the vending and the partying and the events and all that good stuff. So I'm excited, and I'd love to get her around here soon.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally. For real though.
It's a dream team, man. Super all-star team, dude. Have a baby and right at the Cannabis Cup. Boom. 2 weeks later. I give you a ton of credit for fucking doing that, man. And you got to do what you got to do, and that's part of what you have to do, and you're making it work best as you can. And I haven't heard a peep of complaining about it at all. You're just going through and doing it, aside from the fact that you need more let's harvest, you know what I mean? Besides that, that's it, so congrats.
That is it, man. Like I have been kind of putting off the work for a few days, like certainly making sure the plants are alive, and defoliating some flower plants the other day, and actually put 5 more lime skunk in the flower last night and all this stuff. And glad I got that on the record, because now I can go back. Hey Google, what is 63 days from today?
You got that family to feed, man. It's good.
All right, I have to harvest around May 21st. That lime skunk. I need to put that on a calendar somewhere. But no, I and this Cobra milks, I keep pushing through, and man, those I had one of those cookies today again. They're so good. They're so good. I'm gonna make a giant batch of those cookies and garlic punch and maybe some other ones, maybe some clementine or something too. But
I got the Indigo Daydream tested at Deep Roots.
Ooh.
Sex tested. So there's 8 of them only, but it is what it is, and I'm waiting on the results. I think I might get them tonight.
Okay.
So that'll be coming, and then I think we're starting with triple burger. So
Triple burger.
yeah, I gotta count how many seeds I have exactly. I have a lot of pots to buy, like 1 gals and
Is
3
that like
gals.
a offspring of Donnie Burger, triple burger,
Mm-hmm.
or is it off?
Yeah, I think it is. Wait,
I think didn't we look
think
it up
it's
a couple weeks ago?
On
I
Solo.
think it is Donnie Burger times double burger.
Or GMO or something?
Or no, yeah, I think
Wasn't
it's
it like
GMO.
a Donnie back cross to GMO or something weird like that?
Here it
That would
is.
be weird if it was Donnie back to GMO. because
AKA
every-
GMO back cross number 3. So it's GMO
Yeah.
times double burger, yeah.
Okay.
GMO.
So that's why I'm excited, because it's like a back cross number 3.
Mm-hmm. Just keep
I think-
dumping
I
that
think- I
garlic
think-
back or that GMO back.
I was thinking about this today, and I don't give a shit what y'all think. I'm a GMO fanboy.
I can
straight
tell
up,
you. I
I'm
already
gonna
told you
start
that.
getting shirts just for GMO and stuff like that, because
I'm sorry, it doesn't say
everything
that on yours right now.
GMO is good. So
You get a shirt that says GM Ho is what you should
I'll get that. I like it.
Man,
That's going down. And it's such a good strain. So I think it had a wave, and now people are, oh, I'm done with GMO. But you
What do you
shouldn't be
think
done with
about that?
GMO because it's such
Unless
a good
you're-
high.
fucking allergic to it, then you can be done
Well,
with
then you just
GMO.
mix it with a different strain. It's a
Oh.
me for Groli,
There you go,
GMO.
you could- you
Is that
could
a
fill-
what?
That's what I want. It's a me for Groli, GMO-y.
Is that a-
GMO going once, going
GM
twice.
Ho.
It is
shirt?
one of 2 hoodies left, ready to be customized. GMO.
Is that a
He'll
it's
get you
GMO.
one.
own adventure
The
shirt?
winner is still here. That is still useful apparel.
I like it. Choose your own tagline apparel.
Yes.
Baked,
Oh,
what do you
nice,
think of
organically, but
GMO times Death Star.
that would be, see, like shit like that. I want to fuck with.
I
I
have
want to mess with.
one-
Like, come on.
I have-
Why hasn't somebody done that? You know?
I have one seed.
Oh,
One seed.
well, let's pop it.
know.
I have tons of room now, so I can hold whatever. And I already have GMO. I have the Skunk House cut of GMO. So
he's got every cross of GMO too.
and I have Donnie Burger. And I have all the packs. So
all of the
all the packs.
the whole drop.
Skunk House is probably my number 1 collection
Whole
there.
fucking drop. Said how many are available?
I had to hit up Respect, and I got his last 3 packs. Respect is the guy that works with Skunk House, and I connected him with a coworker, and I went, "You think you can get another pack of triple burst? So I have 3 packs." And he goes, "I'll hit him up." He hit him up, and the dude goes, "I'll do three triple bird packs for 300." So it's 100 a pack, which is retail when they come out.
Sweet.
I'm like,
Triple-
yeah. So
Burger.
that's how I ended up with 5 packs of triple burger.
is it
And they were his last 3. I mean, last 3 he was willing to sell. I'm sure he has some or something that keeps.
Big
but-
guy in his DMs. He said, "Do you have any more triple burger?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I got a little bit left." And he's like, "How many do you need?" And Bake's like, "All of them."
All I'm trying to do big runs. I got in connection
Take
with
my money.
I got in connection with a guy on Strainly, and he was selling. I gotta get Fatso to you for Groli. I want to run that in concentrate, but that's like an old school, like it smells kind of chemi, like a chemical, like rubber band kind of thing going on. Like it's hard to describe,
Like a
but
warm chemical factory kind of smell. I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah. It's nice, but then mix that with like a nice old school weed smell. It produces, and it's a cut. So we had test results. It was like 34% THC or something high.
so something
But I want to run that
How
to you.
much?
But the guy I found on Strainly, he has been making cuts, and he has Mean Gene's Black Lime Reserve times that.
Oh, wow.
And I talked him in, and I was like, how much for 60 seeds? And he's going to do that and then throw in some Fire OG times Fatso too.
Sweet.
So that'll be another hunt down the road.
Nice.
It's cool. Stranley's really cool because you see these guys working lines. Like he has the Fatso, or he has some other stuff he's worked to like F4 and F5. They just find stuff they like and they just
Do you know the
work it and
lineage on,
offer it.
on Fatso? Because you mentioned
Yeah, I looked
chem,
it up.
and biochem is something I miss greatly, and that was the first award I won. It was Super Lemon Haze mixed with biochem.
This explains it, but it's from Colorado and it's GMO
GMO.
cookies times Legend OG, and Legend OG is OG Kush, so or something.
Is it really?
It says here. I'll share this so that we can get some.
So that must not be like original chem that I'm thinking of. Look up biochem
Well,
if you
GMO
would.
is Chem cookies, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
really, and I've had a
MD.
buddy run those because I have some of the packs, and it's like you get a range of like almost GMO, but then you get that like there's other ones that were straight chem. So I could see that. But what were you saying? Look up.
Biochem.
Oh yeah.
Just all one
Biochem.
word, I guess.
Where's the search? Biochem.
White Widow. Every time I look up this site, that was the first strain I grew was White Widow.
It doesn't have any. Let me space.
What? I guess it says
There it is. Dash Chem. 303.
Probably. I don't know.
Chem Dog number 4 times
Okay,
biodiesel.
Maybe it's the diesel.
Biodiesel is Sensei Star times sour diesel times original diesel times new. That's a diesel loaded.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
All the diesels.
train, baby.
Okay, so maybe I like diesel with a hint of chem because you know what? You know
Yeah.
what? That white, the white, right? Isn't that a lot of diesel in there? Can you look
The
up
white?
the white and like White Widow?
Oh,
and
yeah,
White
yeah, yeah.
Lotus and all
If you
those,
like diesel for Groli, you gotta try it. We gotta do a run baked one time of my Bliss Bud and get some for Groli, so there's a decent amount for him to run because I think that's super diesely.
because maybe mixing diesel with those
Yeah.
citrusy flavors will be really like my and I'll be all like terpene profile because I like the flavor of the citrus. Obviously, like it's my just in terms of flavor. Like I could eat anything that tastes like citrus, or just all day long if it didn't like kill like give me ulcers or something. I don't know. But the effects of I think a diesel, and I'm gonna. That's why I wanted you to look up the white and those strains.
Yeah, I
because
got it, but here, let me show you. I'm not sure who made that.
It is the most potent
there's-
type of cannabis I've ever smoked.
There's Connoisseur Genetics clone only strain, which
Jeez.
didn't.
Look up maybe a White Lotus or gosh.
I thought it was a White Widow cross that made the white.
That was going around at the
That's the thing. I might have to check like Google.
Herbicide back in the day.
Let me check
Well,
Google and see the white.
They had the white, and I think they had Vortex and a bunch of sub cool stuff at the same time.
White Lotus, it just pulls up the HBO show. Yeah, there's Hytiva. The first time I've seen that website pop up. Third
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I am
while
over one.
you're looking that up, I want to put a call out to the people that are testing for me. I have I found in my Snow Devil testing a Hermie, like a straight up Hermie, in one of my Snow Devils. So if you got any Snow Devil seeds for me, I mean, if you want to continue to grow them, that's fine. Just keep an eye out for Hermie. This was straight up like it has, I think a day 14, between 14 and 16, somewhere within those 3 days. I was in there and they had some really big fan leaves. And I love the structure of the Snow Devil, better than all the crosses, honestly. But I was removing some big fan leaves, and right at the node space of straight balls, like unmistakable, 4 or 5 of them, not nanners, straight balls. So I just cut that fucking plant down, pulled it out, we got the hell out of there. But I'm not like all's not lost in my opinion on that strain. In fact, because I like the structure so much of that plant, I'm gonna just keep popping beans and looking for females I really like that don't have hermaphrodite tendencies, and then search out some males and make F2s and then test those, and then maybe we'll
Did
release
you do all your double and second checks to make sure you don't have any little lights or anything around those guys.
To me, it doesn't matter. I don't want to have any chance of, you know what I mean? If I know that there's a chance that there's a Hermia, it's not something I ever want to release.
Ugh. Oh, I've just had like incredibly stable genetics, like shit that I've ran for years, like the Death Star. I've had it for 7 years. It never hermed on me, and just this, like, now I have a bunch of Death Star seeds because we had a stupid light leak, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it hermed, and then another round later, we had a one that I haven't ran as long that could just be, we were talking about getting rid of it just because it did herm.
I think that the only stress that I really maybe subjected it to was I had 2 plants in the same planter. So maybe them with 2 being in there might be a little bit stressful.
It was like a competition thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe
like trying to breed. That's it.
yeah, maybe they're like, damn, you're sexy. We got to figure out a way to.
That's a new way of like signaling reversal. Right again.
Maybe.
So
I got out of there either way.
I found that earlier for Gully, and I was wondering if that was the real white.
Yeah, from my
Chrome
knowledge,
is all over the place.
Yeah, but from my knowledge, okay, so I started growing this strain. Okay, so White Lotus was the first strain I ever grew, and it's because I got seeds of White Lotus from a grower that grew it out of a quarter I bought. And I got 18 seeds, and every single one of them germinated. And I'm like, I've got to buy some growing equipment on Amazon, and let's finish this. That basically, in a sense, was the start of my growing career. Ever since then, I've been very curious about these strains, and around 2015, I think, I acquired not the white. It was, I had White Widow, but what else did I have? White Diesel. That's what it was.
Okay.
That's the strain I should have told you to look up.
Let me see.
But for some background on this, the white is also known as Triangle, or at least the cuts I was growing, because I also grew Triangle OG. So that's why I'm remembering this connection now. So Chrome says, my strain, the white, has no relation to White Widow, to the best of my knowledge. It's called the white for one reason only: the color of buds when finished. Looks like they were just rubbed in confectionery sugar or something. The real name of the strain is Triangle. Got the name from being a 3-way cross. Has nothing to do with location, as I'm far away from Cali, and the best of my knowledge, I was born and raised in my hometown. The Triangle Kush is another local strain that's been around for years. I don't really want to get into its origins, as it's always seemed to start a heated debate. So,
is that saying that it is a Triangle Kush, or is it saying that?
No,
just bringing up that as another strain.
That is another strain.
Yeah,
his strain
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, his strain is called Triangle, but it's also, it's called the white, but it's also known as
different than that.
Correct.
Or
just Triangle on its own.
So it's a pheno of something they created called Triangle, which was
but not Triangle
cross.
Kush.
Triangle Kush that comes from Florida. I just looked that up for fun.
Yeah, that's wedding cake, isn't it?
They call that Triangle Kush because it was grown in the 3 capitals of Florida: Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville, which makes a little triangle.
Oh, okay.
That's where all the weed is grown in Florida, for Florida at least. I'm on White Diesel right now.
Yeah.
I clicked that one. That's the only one I can think where it's Widow Mother times Sour Diesel. The other one was White Label Seeds, but it didn't have any info. It's New York Diesel times unknown strain. So
it was very similar to
it's hard when you get into the European, white label stuff back in the day.
Yeah, but all I know is that White Diesel was the most narcotic cannabis I've ever smoked. And I remember sitting down at a meeting and passing around a joint between 3 people, myself included, and all of us just being like, what the fuck did we just smoke? Like, we're just in our chairs, like melting, and being like, holy shit, guys. But like I'm seeing a little bit across a lot of these white type strains. I don't know if it's a White Lotus, White Widow, White Diesel, White whatever, Triangle, the white something. It's the terpene profile isn't what you're there for. Like, it does have that diesel smell, and like, some people like that gas, and like, I'm all there for it and everything, but the effect is just something different, man. And it's I think it might be that Sour diesel. I think it's the sour diesel, guys.
Yeah. That's a pheno hunt on our list. We have 2 packs
sure.
of Top Dog F3
From Top
sour
Dog.
diesel
Yeah.
and 1 pack of Top Dog BX4, or it's like vice versa, but it's a bunch of deep sour diesel. So hopefully we find some. And then we have the AJ sour diesel, which I love, dude. I gotta get you some of that and see if that gets you high like you're talking. But it gets me ripped. I just smoked a joint
I
of
wanna
it for the
I
show.
gotta get him some Vortex. See if that gets him high.
I miss East Coast sour diesel so much. What's his name?
That's what this should be.
Gage Green posted I forget what it was called. It's a new strain that he's got out. And I didn't see who it was. I didn't see the name of the strain. I just saw the picture of the nug, and I was like, oh, dude, that's the East Coast. And it said East Coast times East Coast and all these other diesels, it was just a blend of diesels, dude. But it's got this just unique, like lime green flower / like stigma, the hairs are like lime green, a little bit of, but then like some are just like super red and orange, right? And then the other, like the sugar leaves are dark, like hunter green, like really dark green. And then it's just like this beautiful, like I call it this duck bill leaf look to it, where these like the leaves are
shine
pointy, they're like dull at the end, and they're like kind of like slightly droopy, like just the top couple, and then the bottom are all crystalled out, and there's like you can see that there's trichomes on it and shit, and it's just such a nice flower, but it's so distinct. And for some reason, I think it's the color of the hair. I think it's the color. I think it's that dark green to the bright red orange hair coming off of it. That is kind of what gives it away, as opposed to like the shape and everything. But it's like just that color, man. It is. If you go to the designer's shot, I forget what it's called. I looked them up. They were like $200 a pack. I forget the name. What's that, Baked?
It's prominent.
That's the AJ sour diesel. So this is supposed to be like one of the claims of East Coast sour diesel. But this was my first run of it.
I'd have to maybe see it in person, but
yeah,
it looks almost too dark.
I just love the high, but
right, it's the effects.
Yeah. We tried New York sour diesel. We had a cut of that, and it
Dude, I'm
was
telling
all
you,
right.
mix sour diesel with lime skunk, and we are sitting on a pile of gold, everybody.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Wait, you have lime skunk as a cut?
The female, yeah. What do you mean?
So I got the chemicals. We can reverse one of them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know. So I'm saying, let's find a legit sour diesel. Yeah. I would love to breed my strains, guys. Like,
the Top Dog seeds too. We can get a male out of that and hit his fucking female.
Oh yeah,
some weird things going, guys.
Yes, male, aka a stud.
Dude, I'll convert.
We're gonna fucking smack it.
I don't know where my space. I gotta find some space for this.
I got a 3x3 in my bedroom. That's where I plan on doing.
I'm talking about like a 30x30, son.
No, you gotta do controlled.
This is for the people, dude.
Yeah, we'll get a bigger one later, but we gotta
dial it in,
make them fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Pineapple Express. They fuck. But that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that's I'm now thinking about that exact scene in that movie. That is a good movie. That's such a wild. I was just thinking about that. If you like found a barn in the middle of nowhere and you like open a latch and you crawl down and there's just this massive like hydroponic garden going with full lighting and everything. Like I know it exists all over, but like I don't know.
I'd be so scared for my safety at that moment.
Oh
yeah, so scared for my safety.
Like there's definitely a camera on me.
Exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it until you open that latch and there was I don't know, approximately 100,000 lumens blasting your way. You just open up a spotlight. It wasn't for the roof on the barn, I guess. Where's the oddest place you guys have grown? How about that? I'll start. Probably my first grow, because it was a 2 foot deep by 4 foot wide by 5 foot high tent. I had it literally like in between the clothes in my closet, and a like ducting with the fan, like cool tube ducting going out to a window, and like it was just completely hidden. That was about as small as it has ever been, and it's about as hidden as it's probably ever been. Probably also like the most odd, because it was just such poor conditions. I was just trying to be like so sneaky about it, and I don't know. I know it was like slightly different times, but just not necessary now.
I've been
Yeah.
odd ones.
I don't think I haven't had too awkward, but like my first grows was in high school. We like found plants and like transplant them to the woods. They didn't go good at all. But then
Where
I got
did you
on
find these plants?
one of them. My buddy spotted on the side of the highway, so it must have been in somebody's backseat they through out.
Nice. A lot of a
We
roach, probably.
parked in the parking lot off the highway and like went and got it, but a deer ate that one.
Oh, damn.
We think a deer or a person just straight up
Ripped it.
yanked it,
Yeah.
but it looked like a deer. But then I got my own place when I was supposed to be going to college, and I put, I swear to God, like 20 to 30 CFL bulbs in like a laundry room cupboard of this like shared apartment, and that didn't produce shit. So then I moved to the closet and got like a 150 or 250 watt HPS. But
What was
the
that
most awkward part about that was we had a party once, and my roommate's drunk girlfriend started threatening to call the cops, and I flipped out and I was like, "Fuck!" So I had buddies that lived in the building next to it because it was like an apartment complex, and I went. We were on second floor, so we took all the plants and threw them to them off the balcony. And then what was
Awesome.
awkward about it was the next morning. This is Florida, bright and sunny, and I had to go get those plants. They didn't want them. Come on, come get them, come get them. I'm like,
We're
all
hot.
right. So I grabbed trash bags. And I just threw them over these plants that were probably 2-3 feet tall with a pot, and I'm one by one just.
Were they in flower?
I can't remember, probably.
Okay.
And I'm running, and I have to run through like a small lawn section. Well, it's maintenance day, so the lawn guys are mowing, and I'm just like eyeball, like running, and I'm just like, fuck. And but nothing ended up happening.
Got my new house plants. Just
yeah,
trying to protect it from your shelling of grass clippings.
Yep, but that was about it.
I think the weird, if you want to say weird, and I don't think it's that weird, but the weirdest place I've grown is in a pig pen.
Ooh. Wait,
So that
the
was
pig's
cool.
not just. Oh, wait, there's no.
I did that for about 3 years straight. The pigs would be harvested in the early part of the year, January, February. I'd have the guy who lived there till it in. Just because they would pigs are actually pretty clean animals, and they'll go to the bathroom in the same spot over and over again. So you want to move that around because you have a hot spot. So I have them till it in as soon as the ground is able to be worked, and then plant right before end of usually right around by June 1st, have them in the ground. Did that 3 years in a row, grew some huge plants.
Did the pigs have access to the plants?
The pigs were dead. The pigs were dead and processed when we were planting.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no pigs in there when there was plants in there. The plants were in there in the off season. The pigs were on there. And
gotcha. I'm like, man, did they not just freaking eat them immediately? Like you had a fence there, right?
You said they offed the pigs in February. When did they bring them back? Like next winter?
In the fall.
Oh, okay. So yeah, plenty of time to get a season out. Nice. That's really cool.
Were they raising them elsewhere in the summertime or something? I'm curious to know about the logistics of that whole thing.
No.
So they were just quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you.
I usually gas them too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Roast that shoulder, man.
Free bacon.
It wasn't free. I had to pay,
for it,
pay for it, trade for it, one or the other.
Dude, have either any of you guys ever bought like an actual pork belly and like cut up your own bacon or any like season it or anything like that?
No.
Neither have I, and I really want to. I want to smoke it too.
You want the what's it called? It's around their jowls. I forget what they call it. That's the good stuff. It's like bacon. I forget what the hell they call
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah. There's a name for it. Some kind of bacon. I can't remember now.
Pork jaws, cut of pork, pig's cheek, different food traditions, blah, blah, blah. Hog jaw. I mean, I think you just got it.
You want me to share that for goalie? What
Owl
you
bacon?
got? No, what
No,
you
I'm
got,
just reading off of
no, this
Google.
strain finder, seed finder.
Oh no, that's been there for like
Oh,
half an hour, guys.
I missed that. Oh.
I don't know, maybe.
I didn't know if you had a new strain
no,
to check out.
no. I think you shared it and I just left it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was my fault. I appreciate you looking at that though. I think it's just jowl bacon is all it's called.
Jowl.
Huh.
Yeah. That's
Jowl
what it
bacon.
is.
Is that around the jaws?
Yeah, it's around the neck, like around their
That
big
is
fat
weird.
head neck, and yeah, right here.
It looks really good. I mean, it looks it's like a shorter cut, you know, so you're not going to get these
Yeah.
like long strips, but it looks pretty hearty. I don't know. I love me some bacon, some thick cut bacon, you know, some high quality bacon. I heard recently like the quality of bacon that you eat, obviously. I mean, to us, this is a duh moment. Because we are literally growing things and feeding ourselves with the thing we grow, and you are what you eat, and we are literally putting the inputs into the things we're growing that we're consuming. So we kind of understand that whole process, but a lot of people don't. And the inputs that you're feeding your animals have a lot to do with the quality of the end meat that you are going to consume. So whatever you are consuming, just think about what that was consuming, whether it was an animal or a plant. It matters. The soil, the cocoa, the feed, the whatever it is. You know, we have, of course, chickens. This is another thing that Rosemary's Oasis over there on Instagram and YouTube is, of course, you know, on the daily experiencing whatever you're feeding your chickens, you know, they're going to produce eggs with that input. And you can literally dial in their diet to a point with a certain amount of, I think it's cayenne seed, to make their eggs a certain, not only color, I believe, like a tinge of color, but you could also give it a flavor of spice. You know, I don't know if I'd feed a human a certain amount of anything that would give them a certain flavor. I'm sure we probably taste like butter and fried chicken and all sorts of deliciousness,
man. That's not me.
But you know what I mean? Like
I taste spicy and delicious.
Yeah, just eating.
No, man. You know, you hear the I think it's the term nitrates in a lot of bacon. Like that's the most common, like, and it is bad. It causes a lot of different forms of cancer. It causes a lot of different, you know, inflammation, which causes tumor, causes cancers, and all this other stuff. The nitrates, it's not just like a fancy word. It's ammonium nitrate, right? It's ammonium nitrate. It's fertilizer, right? It's in the grain, it's in the grass, it's in the ground, it's in everywhere that the pig is. And pig is just, it's a biodynamic accumulator like all of the other cannabis and bamboo and fucking
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Woo!
Fucking sunflowers and all that other shit.
Salami.
And
It's the Caps junkie.
The ammonium nitrate gets up in their meat and in their fat, and then we consume it, and that's what causes inflammation and cancer. Good old fashioned homegrown pork, where you know you're not feeding the pesticide grain, GMO grass, grain, alfalfa, you know, hog swallow, whatever it is, man. If it's good old, you know, stuff that either you're growing naturally or sourcing for them, you shouldn't have the issues with the night. I say shouldn't because you still may, you know, depending on your ground, right? Your remediation, you know, any of that kind of stuff, they're still going to go and do their thing on the local vegetation and shit. So you still might have issues. But typically, I mean, a local farmer who's got their stuff going on, you shouldn't have those kind of issues. But dude, we all love our bacon. We started getting, you know, what's classified as like nitrate free, or what is it? No nitrate, no sodium, no nitrates, and all that stuff. And
No additives, all natural. Like they just keep adding
they keep
phrases.
adding names to it, but there's a lot of ways that they can get around, there's a lot of ways they can get those seals of approval on the packages and still use certain products. That doesn't mean that they're completely nitrate free or completely ammonium free at all, any of that stuff. So it is a big
Yeah, they like to say natural because they can't say organic, so they're going to call it natural.
I don't want to say it's a
Confuse you.
game of linguistics and all this.
It is. It's marketing, man. I
even
have my
organic
degree in
is-
this shit. It drives me insane now. Like how far it's stretched. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and
just
even organic doesn't even mean organic.
No
anymore.
gosh darn integrity.
no
You have-
integrity in these farms. I tell you what.
So I don't eat
Yeah.
a ton of meat anymore. I've been eating less and less, but when I do get it, I do try to do at least go to I have 3 local butchers around me, so I can just go to a local butchers and at least know that. In fact, I know the Northwest Meat Market up by me, for one, only deals with local farmers. So I know I can go in there and I can get. They do most of all the process there. The only thing they don't do is the smoking of the meat. They have to do that at a third party location, but I know where they smoke it too, and I'm happy with that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I
I'm
do.
very concerned. See, my curiosity is always on the rancher, the farmer's end, and what they're feeding the animals, you know, and how they're growing their grass, if it's on property, if they're sourcing it. It makes me even more concerned because it's so difficult to do due diligence on where this stuff comes from. It's
If I'm buying a volume, if I wanted to buy a quarter cow side of beef or something, then I'm doing that due diligence. But if I'm going there for a pound of hamburger, I'm just okay, I'll just take a
that's
pound.
the thing. You can't. I mean,
Right.
you wouldn't eat if you try to do that because it's so difficult. You have to know the farmer or be the farmer. You have to be the farmer. We should just say that. You really have to do it yourself.
I have, when I do that, when I buy in bulk like that and I get a whole animal or a partial animal,
and you
I
should.
do every time it's been, I knew the farmer, I knew the person. And usually they're like, "Are you interested?" And I'm usually yes, because I know you. I know the way, I can go to your house and look at the animal.
It's tough to find spray-free hay or chemical-free hay.
Very tough to find spray-free hay. Super tough because they like to spray it on there to dry it or to let it dry.
And fungus is a big issue because we're a big monocrop state filled with grain. And just attract fungus. Buddy, you agree, don't you?
That remind me, did you see that thing that Anything Grows put in the MBGS chat today? It was a reel that somebody I can't remember what account it was from, but they said if you eat a banana, that bananas produce chitinase. Chitinase is an enzyme that helps break down fungus. And if you consume a banana when you're consuming mushrooms, that you'll have less upset in your stomach, because it will help to break down that chitin. That's what causes all the stomach discomfort. I thought that was interesting as hell.
That is interesting.
There's other things too. It was a banana, potato, and avocado. I think were the 3 options. All the things that I eat. So
Bananas, believe it or not, even though would be conventionally sprayed, are relatively less harmful.
yeah, you're right. Bananas get sprayed like crazy
because of the fact that they have a little bit of a skin on them. You kind of get a little bit of protection. But even the organic, we got organic. I go to get our banana. I go to grab a banana, and I'm looking at them like, oh, this is they don't look like organic bananas. They look like conventional bananas. They were Dole bananas, right? They're just Dole bananas, but they just were organic,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
hard.
these-
It's hard when it's just the big company who's just now have this new version of it that's organic, but the same.
Yeah.
It's like
The
how
organic ones are so tiny compared to the fake ones.
I really try to get organic vegetables. as with that for everything, even though, you know, there's some that are okay, you know, and not as
Even though it's marketing, there's still, I guess,
It's still a level. At least that's a level.
yeah, like, you know, what they're spraying is at least, I don't know, hopefully it's monitored. I don't know if they're on property, you know, maybe they're on it for 3 years, but this still, you know, holds heavy metals because it hasn't been properly remediated. I mean, all that shit's possible. You know what I mean? You could probably get organic certification and still be on property that needs remediation, depending on, you know, if they're checking soil tests or any of that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I know that for one of the stipulations is it has to be so many years from conventional farming. So if there was conventionally farmed, it has to be so many years away from that.
It's 3,
That
and
may-
it's
that
supposed
makes
to, like,
sense.
have done some sort of a remediation process in between and done your best, but I don't know what they do as far as like testing levels.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If they
I've
require it.
definitely never seen any test results for vegetables.
I haven't either.
Or
I've
on
seen
my
it
on my
too.
bags of apples.
They'll test soil and stuff, and they'll make sure that there's no, like, you know, high nitrates or heavy
Heavy metals.
things like that. I did hear that Michigan State is actually either eliminating or raising the cost for like the average person to get their soil tested at those levels.
they have like a soil lab, and I think it's getting closed to the public.
I don't know if it was so popular to, like, you know, just all the maybe so many people are starting to grow their own,
That would be
Mhm.
cool.
have little grow rooms and stuff. And
There's plenty of other places to send your soil, so sucks for people in that area, but I like your spin on it. That means a lot of people must have been fucking getting personal tests, filling up their schedule. But that means everybody's checking their soil for health reasons.
They probably don't have enough student enrollment to fill the roles of making
That
to be the
could be
best.
it too.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's something going on. I'm not being able to
I mean, they just had a pretty horrific event, so I wouldn't be surprised
check
if
this.
if the people said, "Yeah, I don't want to go to that school for a little while."
I'm sorry I'm late, but who are you talking about?
MSU.
Oh, I heard there was
Soil test
enrollment.
studies.
Enrollment was down across the board, pretty much across all universities. But
Yeah, I've heard that too.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, with that
Makes
happening
sense.
too, I'm
They're
sure it's
saying
gonna
that
work.
they stopped their soil testing
oh,
for
The labs.
average consumer. They either stopped it for normal consumers.
oh, for retail, like
yeah,
Up the
just
price.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
you could just send it in.
Interesting.
They stopped it, or they made it far more difficult to change the rates.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because you think if it was a commercialized thing, it would be bringing the money, or maybe didn't become profitable, or they just didn't have the student resources. You know what I mean? Or I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to either be student resources or some sort of a
Change in something. you know?
bureaucratic arm hold.
Maybe they didn't want to be bringing dirty soils in or something. Maybe, you know, because they obviously, you know, Michigan State is a giant agricultural school in terms of the education that they provide and research that they do.
Michigan State is also a land grant college, which means they should be open to the public at all times, and they should help us out as much as possible.
I mean, isn't that all public universities?
No, not at
Okay,
all. The land that they have was gifted to them.
okay, fair enough. I still think that all public universities should open up their resources, like their libraries. And
Oh, I
whatnot,
think
but
they should, but I don't think they're like obligated to. I guess is what I'm
I think
saying.
they should be obligated to.
Oh, I think I agree with you. I think they should be. But
I
don't
think
they
that
are.
in addition to cannabis legislation, that should be another focus because we are funding the research of this country, and a very large portion of the research of this country, and a very minuscule amount of it is available to the public. And you'd think that having a extra set of eyes, especially the power of the internet, would be a beneficial thing. But for some reason, they want to be so tight and so compartmentalized about it.
Because it's business, just like everything
Exactly.
else.
They want to have their freaking name attached to
They
it.
don't-
And
they don't
it's
want
a very
the
competitive thing.
consumer to be informed They don't want us to know what's in our soil.
Well, that too. There's a few sides to it.
I mean,
I'm going to
yeah.
take two sides to it and show you those two patches because I don't remember if I
Ooh, what are those
could
seeds?
find
That
these.
swinger badge. The fuck, for Gully?
Yeah.
Are you advertising your swinger shit on the show?
Come on, man. You're gonna
Yeah,
get another
you
account,
could have told
man.
us.
Hey, I didn't hold it upside down.
That's
dude.
not
Oh, wait,
something you
this is the
just
wrong
drop
one.
on.
Oh, I didn't know that
Just
was
a
the
warning.
thing, and now we know you're a
Found the
swinger.
both upside
You
down. If you
Take
have an
the
upside down
mask
pat,
off.
no, that's hilarious that you know that. No, I thought these were a couple of cool patches. Dude, you're not even married. You are the stud, aren't you?
TikTok, baby, TikTok.
TikTok.
Hey,
There's
he's
so
got
many like RV, like, hey, watch
Yeah,
out for the
yeah,
pineapples, and I was like, what the fuck?
So many RVs. Wait, what'd you say?
Like RV TikToks, like people like
yeah,
warning
yeah.
others, like, listen, you see this shit on RV because apparently they're all over RVs. You watch out. So
you don't want
Careful
to
at
get
the
accosted.
campgrounds,
in the
ladies
unless
night.
you're into it, then
So, anyways, yeah, I forget the artist name, especially at this point. But I thought this would be appropriate for Hash Bash Cup, the Michigan one they had. Of course, this is the
cool.
only Michigan one they had, but the colors are appropriate for the Hash Bash Cup. And then,
Well, the colors aren't very appropriate. I just
for the Hash Bash Cup, that's why it's not on
no,
there
it's
right
still
now.
not. It's still cool.
And to be fair, the one that's on there right now is a couple like Care Bears that are like puking rainbows, and they're both green. So that's the
That's
one I
better.
wore for the.
That's better. I like that.
That's the one I wore for the Third Eye Craft Fair. But this, I thought this was cool. It's like a freaking wild, like trippy.
That is cool.
Pineapple, like it's kind of a third eye.
But now that we know the
So-
meaning, it's not as cool as what I thought it was.
Well,
So
it had a
now we
weed
know
leaf
the real
on it,
meaning.
and it was a pineapple, but apparently it's banging everybody. So here we are.
Yeah, hey man,
Bakes had to drop that knowledge on everybody.
yeah,
Going RV camping and whatnot.
Yep, I don't even have an RV, but if I do, I'll be prepared.
If you do, you'll have some
I don't even know what you put on the opposite of a pineapple.
on the opposite of a pineapple.
Opposite,
No
maybe
pineapple?
a chopped up pineapple. Like no, we're
Yeah,
just
what
gonna-
is the opposite
Yeah.
of pineapple?
Vegetable.
Green beans.
Yeah, green
I
beans.
think green beans are the opposite. of
I got
pineapple.
green beans. Fuck off. Didn't you see the sign? It's green beans, you fucking weirdo.
lima
Get off
beans,
of my,
even worse.
Or
I feel like lima
RVs.
beans.
RV front.
Okay, so
Jake, that's another one we got to do. Is we got to hunt that fucking pineapple, man. You got a
Which
couple.
pineapple?
things.
Oh,
Pineapple
we got a couple piles. We'll look for some more too.
dude, 2000 and like
Because my
14
number
was last
for
time I drew
hunting
that.
is 60. Huh?
Pineapple
2000
Express. You're talking about?
No, we got
I
like
got
I got
some.
like
I've got some pineapple too baked. I can add to it. We can. I think we
yeah.
have enough.
As long as we have enough.
Pineapple Express.
Yeah, Greenstock sent me a pineapple crossed with some.
What do we know? Pineapple preserves.
Pineapple
Pineapple
down
upside down cake.
So just a lot of different pineapple strains, basically.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
I like a pineapple hunt.
Yep.
Then I have a pineapple.
Dude, we had pineapple when we were trying to do a review show, and we were kind of like, we were just gonna smoke dispensary weed, which was awful. But we bought 3 different kinds, and the only good one was the one Spartan got, which was a pineapple something, and it was actually good. And it was.
and then that stuff that
anything Grows brought down.
yeah, that
Pineapple
stuff was
upside
really
down
good.
cake, but it was, we couldn't get a cut of that, obviously. So I bought the seeds from Humboldt Seed Company because they had, if I really wanted, I could buy 5 more packs of that right now, because
Right.
they have the stock. That's what's nice about those bigger breeders. But
Mhm.
we have enough.
Grow it
other
upside your
pineapple
stuff. That's the next best shit I've ever smoked. That pineapple upside down cake. I think.
Oh yeah, it
Guess
was
I'm gonna
really
have to
good.
revise
Flavor-wise,
on
it
Joe.
was so
Some
Flavor,
fresh frozen.
Clean flavor, terpy.
I've ran the Pineapple Express before, but I also grew it, and I mean it's been.
Me too. I've
Ooh.
also grown it, but
Long
this stuff crapped all over it. Like this was way more. This tasted like literally like pineapples to me, like sweet pineapples. It was really, really good.
Who's
We'll have to. Who's that by there,
Pineapple
Stang
chunk.
Man? Pineapple chunk. That
Pineapple
sounds
chunk.
kind of good.
I heard that one was what was that one? That big
He's
yield.
gonna make me Google it, but if
reminds
I
me of
can
something.
Google it faster than he can.
It's in a lot of strains, I think.
plenty of
Pineapple
time.
chunk. Like it was
Pineapple
crossed
chunk
into a lot of things.
Is cheese with
I had a question
skunk
for Red,
number
and now I
one.
forget it.
You cross cheese with skunk number 1 and pineapple.
Was that the one that they worked really far down, like
That's
a
what
lot of
Leafly
generations?
says. Hang on though. That's what Leafly. Oh, it's Barney's Farm. That's some Euro, old school. That's
Yeah.
cheese times pineapple. Exodus cheese cut.
That actually
So
kind of sounds
we probably
familiar.
wouldn't be able to find it that, but
Yep.
we can try. Yeah. So that'll be a hunt, but Hunt City.
So speaking of new plants, Rosemary's Oasis. When do you guys think we're going to be putting plants outdoors this year?
Yeah.
Yours are in the ground.
Well, okay, so not. I mean, I know. This is a cannabis show, and we're talking cannabis. Cannabis is one of those things that, like, by the time we get to putting out cannabis, in terms of our, like, you know, photo period plants, the ones that we grow indoors and throw out outdoors, we kind of all put them out at the same time of the year. But I'm talking about like putting vegetable plants out this year because it's kind of throwing me for a loop. Like we were supposed to have this crazy super frosty winter, whatever mix, whatever. It
After this month, we're all right, man.
Yeah, it didn't seem to happen, and you know, I'm still got plenty of snow up here, but how long is it really going to go?
I say after this month, we're good.
Yeah,
it's been a cold weekend.
We're getting ready to put like lettuce and stuff like
Brassicas, yeah,
outside. I'd say seed fucking peas and carrots and fucking broccoli and all that shit in the ground if you want to. 1st of April. It might come up, it might die, it might not die. Radishes, probably most brassicas. Yeah, most brassicas you probably get in the ground. Definitely like spinach and lettuce and all that shit.
Broccoli, especially kale.
What about above ground stuff?
Yeah.
What
For
above
plants? You could go to the
Like,
greenhouses and
peppers
get
and
plants already
herbs.
started.
No, those ones. So
Put those
like,
in, and the
tomatoes and
you could
peppers.
push it before
freeze.
June, I guess.
Tomatoes and peppers will freeze.
yeah.
Those,
The first frost that came last year. I mean, I literally pushed my tomatoes until December, quite literally. But the first frost that came through, like the first real frost, every single one of them, this giant like 15-foot strip by almost 6-foot wide strip of tomato plants were all wilted over. And it just took them out real quick. And cannabis plants were fine, but the tomatoes were just done.
oh yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
What
so
day was that in April?
No, I'm talking. This was in like November or something. But yeah, this is the end of the year kind of thing. Just pushed them till the end because I kind of got them out there too late. But that's the thing. You can't get them out too early either. And tomatoes, you're right on that. You can't let them be out there with the frost. Peppers, you know, peppers are just the typically warm climate plants. So just don't, just wait. But they also grow really slowly up here indoors when we're like starting them in seed. So you want to start them super early too.
Yeah.
As do you the herbs like you were mentioning, like those lavenders and rosemary.
I got a bunch of tea herbs.
Yeah, the lemon balm, man, like all that stuff.
Yeah, I love the lemon balm.
Yeah, dude, start it all early as possible, like now.
Some of them are tropical, and that's why they
just
annuals.
You can put them outside in May though.
Yeah, but it's going to take that long for them to be even like big enough. If you start them right now, they're not even going to be ready by like the 1st of May. I'm telling you, like you're going to get them out of those little, we'll call them Jiffy pot or Jiffy cubes or whatever, or Root Right cubes, right? Something like that size into a cup or a 1 gallon pot. And it's just barely going to be growing by like May 1st, and like, they're not going to be really ready to transplant. So, and I've learned my lesson, but I haven't really learned my lesson because I haven't really planted shit yet. But some of these things, they just take forever to grow. And, the earlier you can get on them, the more production you're going to have outside, especially if you're putting them in the ground. If you guys get these things in the ground, man, it's just so simple.
There's some things though that I like to that are triggered by different things. Like for example, strawberries, you got to make sure that you freeze the seeds so that they'll pop. Peppers, they like to have warmer temperatures in the root zone to pop.
We just order
them pop. So sometimes people will pop seeds and never get them to pop because they don't subject them to warm temperatures, things like that. So anything that's finicky that I have any issues growing, I'll drive my happy ass a few miles down the street to the greenhouse, and I'll just buy that plant. Somebody else, let someone else.
You know what I wouldn't plant yet? What we haven't planted yet? We haven't done any squash. We haven't done
no pumpkins.
no like pumpkins or cucumbers or anything.
Hey,
They're relatively fast.
well, yeah. I was gonna say they outgrow
take a
those
lot of
cubes that
real
you
estate,
guys
too.
have. They'd outgrow those so fast. You wouldn't be able to transplant quick enough, and
No.
to put them outside right now, they just wouldn't survive.
No.
But they're so hardy. They're some of the hardiest plants, like this melon type squash, whatever pumpkin. You know, that kind of. I don't know. I'm sure there's a.
Have you guys
Familia or
amended
whatever.
yet?
I've done nothing outside. Ground
Yeah,
is
look.
frozen. I'm covered in snow. I can't do anything.
Shit, we
right
got 30 seconds. I just realized.
I amended last fall.
Carrots
Okay.
straight in the ground.
I got them in. But wrap up the show. This has been a good show. I want to thank the Patreons and the sponsors, Dick's Medibles. Tune in for the late sesh tomorrow.
11 o'clock
be
p.m.
there.
Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, shout out a restaurant that no longer exists, Camel Riders in the UP, and cheers to you.